The story crafting activity that helped me the best when I was learning how to craft a good Bible story was creating a visual story map. Literally taking the time to divide the scenes of the Bible passage and then to put it to stick figures. Now these drawings, they don't have to be fancy. They really can just be rudimentary drawings that help you with the story recall. At this point, they're not intended to be art that's going to be used as a masterpiece for others. It's intended just to help you remember what you were trying to recall. So putting something down into a basic storyboard can really help you as you're crafting your story. Now, one of the things that I want you to remember is this isn't just about the story recall, but it's about guarding and protecting the sacred text. You are preparing to tell God's sacred, which means holy, story. So when you're in the process of telling the story, it's very important that you don't add any commentary or extra input when you're telling it to a group of people in a formal event or in a Sunday school setting or from a pulpit. And the reason is that the people listening may interpret and thinking that that information of what you said is actually a part of the sacred text. This is why good Bible storytellers will always start off with making sure people know exactly where the story begins and where the story ends. This is called having a proper beginning and a proper closing. If you think about it, every good storyteller will do this. And for me, what I like to say is in the Bible, we're told this true story. Or in Genesis 2, we're told this true story. Or I might give the actual book, chapter, and verse. Now, when I'm closing the text, I will always say something like, may God honor the telling of his word. Or amen. Or so be it. Or shalom, y'all. This allows people to know exactly where it begins and ends. I learned this lesson the hard way one day when I was teaching at a homeless shelter. And I gave a whole bunch of commentary. And then I was telling the story and gave a little bit of more information. And I wasn't very clear where the story began and ended. And when we were in the dialogue time, I discovered that the women were thinking that much of what I was saying that was really background information, they thought it was a part of the text. And I had to go back and retell the story several times to help them realize what the actual story was and not my commentary. So these things are important. The key is that you need to have fun with it. And as you do this as a regular habit, you're going to discover it comes naturally. I was recently asked by a friend, but Tara, I'm not just going to go around and tell a story like you're talking about. And my answer is, of course not. The reason you want to learn these stories so well and have it become a part of you and be natural, then it will enable you to input a story into a natural conversation. The story training I'm teaching you now is how to be where you can completely recall it. Then you'll be able to use it organically and naturally when you're in conversations with people. It is important to be in the Word so that you can be with Jesus, so that you can be transformed. Shalom, y'all.